Hi, I'm Leslie Knight and I'm an artist and philosopher. Thanks, James, for inviting me to participate in this exhibition about the terrible situation in Palestine. Please forgive me if I come across as a very grumpy school teacher. It's not intentional. Um, my contribution to this show is called the Palestine SANDBOX, and it offers an opportunity to play out scenarios in the Gaza conflict. The sandbox is a psychological tool. It can be used to bring out into the world difficult internal states and perhaps to build constructive ways to move forward. We can choose with the sandbox to play at upholding the ceasefire and to rebuild, or we might decide to play at continuing the conflict on ideological grounds and thereby increasing the misery and destruction on both sides. The possibilities are up to the viewer, and that's really intentional. The sandbox is a symbolic environment in which the viewer can pursue peace or alternatively try to ramp things up a bit. Since the beginning of the Ukraine conflict, it has been quite disturbing to see New Zealanders cheering on death and misery from the comfort of a safe and peaceful country. Journalists and commentators have cheered on the death of Russian people. The Ukrainians were urged to stand strong and to keep fighting. The presented whys and wherefores of the conflict were at the level of propaganda, and the consumers of such information might imagine that they understand a great deal more about the conflict than they really do. It is imagined that one side is virtuous and victimized, while the other side, total opposite, an evil bully who must be destroyed. This situation is exactly analogous to childhood games of goodies and baddies. The descriptions are too simplistic, and in practical terms, such propaganda is unhelpful. It doesn't lead to resolution. But more or less well-informed adults understand that the real world doesn't carve up so neatly. Realistically, we are considering states and organisations of murky moral values. They are generally good in some ways and awful in others. No country or people has a perfect record, since people, by their nature, are flawed. In recent years, the peace movement appears to have given way to a hate movement. The goal apparently is no longer peace, but the death of the bad guys, including their children, babies, and pets. By now, quite a disturbing percentage of people not only disagree with their political opponents, but they also actively wish them dead and feel this is justified, all while happily oblivious to the epistemic limitations of their own worldview. And the result of this is the death of civil society as we've enjoyed it. Maybe not perfect, but at least not total ongoing chaos. As an artist and philosopher, I am very skeptical of those whose logic cashes out as promoting war and death. Death is always serious and awful, even when it is the death of an enemy. Peace in Gaza will not be achieved by endlessly litigating the rights and wrongs going back decades and further back still. Peace will be achieved when there is a genuine desire for peace. While wishing for the death of every Israeli from the river to the sea may feel justified and morally virtuous and being on the right side, it doesn't actually help to prevent the real, ongoing, and unbearable suffering that is happening right now in Gaza. I personally don't consider that those actively cheering on death and war represent a moral position at all. Please bring back the peace movement. Thank you. And I'm so sorry that sounded like a telling off or a lecture, but that is my response to the situation in Gaza.